two former division rivals in the old AFC West. The Seahawks and Chargers are underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Mike 49. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Alert, 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 alert. Mike
40. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And oh, right away, he lost the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
Hey, Brown 80. Mike 50. Yo, 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 yo. Yo.
Melvin Gordon, the two-time Pro Bowler. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. They'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. 16 yards, a first down.
Watch the slant, watch the slant.
To throw is Rivers. And he's got his man. It's Henry for a Chargers touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown there. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Wilson. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
.47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Left. Protein spill.
Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Set, 390, load it. Hey, check 300.
On third down, Rivers. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Markevius Mingo with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. On is the Chargers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 19-yard line.
Now after the loss, they come up 2nd and 11 from the 19-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Draw play. This is Carson. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Go. On your team.
This is Carson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
You got nothing.
Now it's Carson. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Let's go double count right here. Double count.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge.
3rd down. 3rd and long.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he finds Penny. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the delay, here's Carson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run as they are now on the board here in the first half. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
He's not going to get me.
Rivers. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And they to get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Well, last year, Henry really looked poised for a prime breakout season, but then May 22nd, tore his ACL during OTAs, ruled out for the year. Actually was added to the active roster in a pretty heroic return for their playoff clash with New England, but did not play. 29 career games for Henry, 12 touchdowns, and now with Antonio Gates' career coming to a close, they expect a lot out of the 24-year-old Hunter Henry. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Mike Daniels. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a 3rd and about 14.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. These offensive starters still out there in the 2nd quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the 3rd quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the 3rd quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the 4th quarter.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Check. Lucky. Go 14. Bang out. Bam. Good.
Now Wilson. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Let's go. 50 seconds. Mike, 50 seconds.
We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
57's Mike. Mike, 57.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson, he lets it fly. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 49 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now they run from the gun with Gordon, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
He'll have a first down past the 40. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Rivers to Benjamin, good for the Charger first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? To throw, Rivers. Benjamin with it over the middle. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. So he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Mike 57. Run left. 57.
On first down, Carson. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. 31 yards there and a first down.
Hey, we haven't been around the entire time football's been played, but we have studied our history, and there have been some great backs who've been accused of running out of bounds to protect themselves. Well, back in the day, many people didn't like that. But nowadays, take care of the football, show some intelligence, live to fight another down.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. They run it with Carson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On 2nd down now. It's Carson, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
380. Check three. Got it. Flare. Right slow. 5 on. Good job right there. 52's the mark.
On third down, Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Thomas Davis. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Intercepted. The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50. Here we go, D.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach? Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Hey, Delta! Wait, 89!
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Set, block 15! That's right, baby. They don't want it. Hey, 50. 50's the mic. 50's the mic. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
3rd and long for Rivers. Henry's got it out on the left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play fake, Rivers. Wide open, it's Allen, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On the Seahawks 35-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Check. Crunch. Cluster.
Throwing Rivers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards the pickup there.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Done. 190.
Check. Mike 50. Y'all not ready.
Reload.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. 49. Check 49. Check 49. Check 37. Check 37.
Reload.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Hey, Delta!
Mike's 50.
Red Delta!
Switch.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
A 21-yard attempt.
Badgley able to punch this one through. The Chargers, a team that's really been plagued by poor field goal kicking the last decade or so, but I think they feel they've solved their problems with Badgley.
I would say so. He went 15 for 16 in 10 games last season, undrafted out of Miami. And remember, he had 5 field goals in the playoffs against the Baltimore Ravens.
This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Alert.
Now Wilson on 1st down. His throw incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays. You kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Slam. Shoot.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there and a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to the end zone real fast.
SOS. Go 14.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa, his second sack of the night. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now it's the backup Smith. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Give them 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a third down.
I know you feel that.
Complete to J.D. McKissick. 5 yards on the play. And it's 3rd down.
An extra quarterback now in the game for the Chargers here on third.
It's our time. Kill. Got it. Hey, turn it up.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the second time. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point kicker. Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. On second down, Eckler. He's got a first down past the 30 and all the way up to the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. What a great surprise Austin Eckler has turned out to be. That's the kid that was undrafted out of Western State, signed with the Chargers in 2017, and then last season, 554 yards at 5.2 yards per carry, and then he was also effective catching the football. 39 receptions, over 400 yards there. A great compliment to Melvin Gordon. They go play action here on first down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Markevius Mingo bringing the pressure yet again. That's his third sack here tonight. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Stick back to pass. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Stick, third and long. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
At the 24-yard line.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Let's go, Pete. Tighten up.
Go down.
Is that yours? Who's that? 57's Mike. Mike 57. Here we go.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. Tackle made by Adrian Phillips. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. To throw is Wilson, operating from the gun. He's got Lockett. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, 0-0-0. Be ready.
Wilson leaves this one with Penny. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 37-yard line.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. A carry now for McKissick. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Check.
They'll go again with McKissick. And an alley to run. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
You're going to see me in your nightmare.
Run up. Fofo's the Mike. Mike's Fofo.
I'll go special.
Double up. He's coming, double up.
They'll run with McKissick. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. That's a gain of 4 here in the fourth quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down.
Check.
Now Rashad Penny. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
So the victory here for Seattle, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say good night, everybody.